And now we're going to look at this TS808 that I've just made. It's a tube screamer clone, obviously. The tube screamer has this kind of hollowed out, like, kind of cardboardy sound that I haven't been able to get with any other effects I've got. I've got a Klon, and I like what the Klon does. It immediately changes the tone, and I can give it a little extra drive or this or that, depending on how I want to use it, but not quite on the level of this. And I have this, I made this MXR Distortion Plus at one point, and I have found that I'm not really like a distortion chug kind of a guy, so I was trying it. A lot of times I would have the distortion really low, and then I'd be cranking the output, kind of getting an overdrive vibe, and yeah, it works. I mean, the way this is built, I do have a soft clipping and a hard clipping side, so there's no reason why that shouldn't work, but I don't know, I just wasn't really happy with it. It still felt kind of like thin, I don't know. So I finally got it together to get the Tube Screamer kit. This kit came from General Guitar Gadgets, and it's a nice kit. It just came in the mail. It's a TS808 Tube Screamer 808 package. It's a kit that includes the full Monty. This is coming from General Guitar Gadgets, which I've used a number of times. I have mostly found their kits to be very good quality and include very good parts, as well as having very good documentation. And I've even had some problems with some of the projects, and I think he's the owner, but I got a response from JD Sleep immediately, corrected the problems, very attentive and helpful. So let's see what we get. We get the enclosure, pre-drilled, looks good. Whole bunch of parts here. Anyway, it's a pretty good bargain if it comes out as anywhere near as good as an actual 808 for 75 bucks. Plus the joy of assembling it. So let's just get to it. I've just started taking all the parts out and laying them out. And to my happy surprise, I immediately noticed that is an actual JRC chip, 4588D. It's kind of one of the reasons I went with General Guitar Gadgets again. Getting that in the kit altogether is really worth it. So something I found with these General Guitar Gadgets kits, they have this document called the instructions. And you don't want to skip over this because there's always these little notes just kind of hidden in these walls of text. So just make sure to read that whole document and actually refer to it every now and then. You know, something could just not be working, and then you realize, oh yeah, there's that weird note. I forgot about that note. And then there's always the one picture hidden in this instructions document, and this is sometimes really helpful to refer to when you can actually see, look at a good example. Amazing workmanship on this example too. Look at those solders. They're just okay. I want to point this out here. Got all the resistors in, and I left 2 of them out here. So look at how many sockets I've got in here. There's a socket for the resistor here and the resistor here for various different mod options. The Keeley changes R6 and R7. And like the Aron Nelson, for example, changes R6 and R7. So I've got sockets for some of the resistors, sockets for 3 of the capacitors. I can swap out of 3 different, or maybe even 4 ICs I could try here. And then there's this crazy section of diodes that I can make a bazillion different combinations and try all the different diodes I have. So there's a lot of socketing, and I'll be able to experiment a lot with that. LEDs, you know, the positive leg is longer. As soon as I cut the legs to make it fit, I don't have anything to tell me, so I thought ahead there and I colored the negative leg black. And then I want to make sure that, so the black is, so negative is the side that has the flat edge. And I can see the one on the top should be facing left, and the one on the bottom should be facing right. Okay, now I know that negative is left. Okay, that's in. This is just a stock setup. I've got 2 N914s right here. These are just silicon. And as you can see, I have extra sockets down there, so I can try doubling up one side. That would make an asymmetrical setup. And then here are just 2 LEDs. And this is what the switch controls is. Are we using the diodes or are we using the LEDs? And so I'm gonna just set it up in kind of a stock configuration. And then I can try an asymmetrical thing here. The LEDs essentially will, I think, clip less. I think this is a little bit more of like a cleaner overdrive. So depending on how that sounds, I might try putting in some other diodes here. So the only thing left to put in the box is the IC. So here's this lovely looking JRC 4558D. And that's it. I'm gonna put it in the box and we'll get our first test. I made my own set of modifications, researching, you know, the schematic versus the Keeley or the Aron Nelson mods, and so I've kind of put it together in a way that I think is cool, but I've left so many things socketed that I can still go in and easily try a million different things. So this is my first build, and it's kind of straight ahead, although I juiced the gain. I'm not really sure how much that's going to affect it the way that I use it, though, because I have been noticing that I'm more likely to use it with low, like less crunch, just to kind of get that sort of open. I don't know why I think of cardboard, but it has this kind of like crispy, hollow sound that I really like. But I don't really want the. I just kind of want that like. I've got a diode switcher here, so I've got either the 2 silicon diodes or 2 LEDs. I think the middle setting is going to be no diodes, so that would potentially would be maybe a way to drive the op amp itself. I haven't really used that setting, actually. We'll check it out. All right, so that's the clean sound I'm working with. I mean, it's not very loud in the room right now, but the L pad is engaged, so it's kind of cranking. Here is the TS-808 at a very low drive setting. So just getting that nice kind of, just like it's like the imitation of an amp breakup. But if I want even a little bit less crunch, I'll switch to the LED. It has a different vibe when it does break up, but it can get a little bit louder before it breaks up, so it's kind of a trade-off there. It's definitely squawkier. Squawk, 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 squawk. Here's the drive knob at about halfway up. That's too much drive for me, I mean, but when we get into the single notes, it really helps to smooth out the... Yeah, it's too much drive. Let's go back. And here's just all the way up for comparison. It's too metally. It makes me want to...